And we're rolling. We're on the air.
Cool.
Look at us. On the air. And I've got wild hair.
You do have wild hair, Jeremy. I'll have to start calling you Haremy. Which is a really stupid nickname. I won't actually ever call you that again.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. What are you drinking there, Jeremy?
I am having myself some nice holiday Baileys. A cordial, if you will.
Oh, I might. Excellent.
Bad news on this, though. It's like 500 calories per gallon.
So you only have 6 glasses.
Yeah.
And you're all set.
I'm all good.
Well, welcome to the Gamer Reaction Podcast. This, unlike last week, actually is podcast number 97. I jumped the gun last week. It was actually 96.
Again.
Yep. My name is Alex. I like jump gun. So here we are, podcast 97. Just started December, in our final countdown to the end of the year. We don't have Chris tonight because he is, and I don't know where this came from, but I said it to Jeremy earlier, Chris is being a mouth whore. I'm not sure what that means, but
Sounds nasty.
he's totally being one. No, I'm sure he has a perfectly legitimate reason. I'm going to go ahead and mute my phone
Mouth
so
full.
that doesn't happen again. And we're all set.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't want to start this off as a downer, so I'm going to try and keep it real light and bouncy. But my grandma totally just died, and and I was at the funeral, and somebody's fucking phone went off in the middle of the service, and it was one of those obnoxious, like jazzing it down the street.
Oh no.
Things like one of those, and I was just mortified. I was so embarrassed for that person.
Oh.
Oh my god. And it was one of those situations where it's not a man who's just got it in his front pocket and he goes, oh shit, beep. It was a woman who had to rifle through her purse to turn it off. Oh my god.
Did the priest stop in the middle of what he was
pants.
doing and stare at the lady? Did everyone stare at the lady and
I think
make it 10 times worse?
everybody tried to ignore it, except for the people in her immediate vicinity, like within the epicenter of the the annoyance, the occurrence. People were staring at her, but I kind of like. Anyway,
Is this a video cast again? I don't remember if we said that was.
It will be if it is.
Because
There will be water
I
if
don't
Kyle
know.
wills it, Diana.
My pencil stash is kind of creepy.
You do kind of look like a 16th century Spanish rapist.
A rapist?
I don't know. Oh my gosh! So I saw on Thursday, and I'll make this real brief, but it is relevant. On Thursday, I went down. Me and my dad were volunteering at the Holiday Ale Festival, which was fantastic. But there was a guy there who, when you get there, they give you these long sleeve white T-shirts that say Holiday Ale Festival, whatever on. And so one of the volunteers was a slightly larger guy, not a big fat guy, but he had a belly. And he
Could
had.
you say a beer belly?
I might say. But he. Oh my God! I'm gonna digipunch you.
Can you just admit I'm just twirling my mustache?
I will acknowledge that you're.
Acknowledge that. Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
So this guy had, and God, I hope this is a video podcast because you're gonna need to see this. So he had this short little hair, like perfectly combed hair, nice little round face, this tiny little pencil mustache, and these eyes that were just kind of slightly bugged a little bit. And he had this this weird little half smile. And I'm gonna get real close to the camera for this because it's kind of creepy. He had just one of these. and it really looked like he was a fucking sex offender. And and he had a collared shirt on, right? And so he pulls the white shirt off, the long sleeve shirt on over, and he's got his collar sticking out. and you can see like the buttons through the shirt, and then he's got that with thing, and then that that little smile, and I was like, I am glad this is 21 and over, because if there were children in this beer festival, they would all be diddled by this guy.
Did you see Saturday Night Live this weekend?
I'll pour you a pint and touch you.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh my god.
That's my story.
Did you see Saturday Night Live this weekend?
I don't believe in television.
Oh, well, Hulu, dude. Just watch it, Hulu.
Is that what the kids are doing
Steve
these
Buscemi
days?
was the special guest, and there was an actual sketch that was focusing on, it kind of was commenting on, like, all the, this is terrible, but the sexual assaults that all of these coaches are, like all of a sudden everybody's, like hearing about this.
Yeah.
In, like, Syracuse and, what's the other one?
I don't know, Buttland?
Sports. So it's like a college sport place, and so the whole.
I'm sorry, I'm still listening. I'm listening to my mustache.
Oh, okay, because it kind of flew at you. It's just as if you summoned it.
I was attacked.
Summoning it.
Please, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Oh, okay, excellent. And so the sketch was essentially they called a press conference. Because they thought that, because based on, like, the way that Steve Buscemi looks, and, like, they also added, like, a really creepy stash on him. Actually, it was the stash that Jeremy has on right now, but just, like, a little thinner and kind of, like, thinner. And so it was essentially, like, Steve Buscemi looks like a pedophile, and it was the whole entire town going, wait a minute. You mean this coach isn't a pedophile? And so they called like the FBI and the CIA, and like they scouted him out, and he was just like extremely lame, and he just happened to be a really lame person.
Something tells me that this was funny when you watched it.
Yes, it was. It actually is a very funny sketch.
I believe that it was funny. Not so funny in the retelling.
Yes, this is exactly. It's and I don't know if you've noticed in the past what episode are we? 97?
97.
97 episodes. They really tell terrible stories.
This is true. I'm glad you've admitted it.
Oh, this is like on my special skills. Like, I tell terrible stories.
Poor storytelling.
Yeah, poor storytelling.
Not so
bad
good
jokes.
if you want to be a bard.
No, I don't tell bad jokes, because I occasionally have, like, moments. I have moments where I'm clever, but I fully admit that I am not a very good storyteller.
Which kind of hurts the whole bard thing.
Don't even open that can of worms, Jeremy. That can full of worms that are not delicious.
I'm good at retelling, like, other stories, but not personal stories.
I don't know. I just don't think you're good at telling stories, and that's okay. You have other skills. That's just not one of them.
That's fine. I just have, like, let's say in, like...
I'm not good at football. You know, that's not necessarily a negative. It's just the way it is.
I'm not good at not looking weird. That's a problem for me.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're not good at that, or
I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's actually kind of that can be considered an asset, considering
you can rock weirdness. You can rock it now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So listen, we might consider talking about video games, as we are wont to do after the first 5-10 minutes of the podcast. But actually, no. See, I just fucked it up because I want to say something not about video games again. But it was while I was surfing around the internet, looking up stuff, as I do.
I do.
Got to be in the loop. Like to know stuff. Keep the finger on the pulse, as it were. And I ran across an article talking about the newest Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn, which apparently is a 2-parter.
Oh my god!
I believe so. Part 1 came out I think just last week or something.
Did you see this? You just said you saw it, right?
The movie?
Yeah.
What am I, 12? No, I did not see it. I ran across an article talking about it.
Go ahead.
I think I've read the same article, by the way, but go ahead.
And it was talking about how during the apparently fairly disturbing birth scene where Facey McNoact gives birth to a horrible beast or whatever, as it like claws its way out of her or something like that.
Out of her vagina.
Yes.
/ stomach.
And then anyway, during that birthing scene, there's apparently strobing lights, like alternating black and red lights or something like that.
Yeah.
And people were having photoepileptic seizures.
Okay, I'm going to straighten this out. I actually have seen the movie. I will admit that I was very drunk.
You don't have to do that. We all know about your Twilight thing. It's okay.
Actually, no. Hold on a second. My
you
Twilight
don't have to,
thing.
It's okay. You've got the books. You've seen the movies, and that's
wait, hold
okay.
on. No. Don't do your hey. Let's try and make fun of Dianna.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you don't need to defend yourself.
I'm not defending myself. I'm clarifying. Okay. I was into Twilight before.
Oh God.
Twilight became lame.
No, that's the worst.
And then
that just made
the
it worse.
movies came. No, excuse me. And then the movies came out, and I saw it on the screen, and I was embarrassed. And then that's when I fully said to myself, I don't want many people to know that I have actually read all 4 Twilights, enthusiastically. Again, before it was popular. And anyway, I went with like a friend of mine, and we were blitzed off our mind, I may say. And it was probably one of the best times I've had in a while. But that scene, I don't know how people have epileptic seizures or having these seizures.
I don't know, but they did.
Apparently, epileptic seizures are caused just by random blinking lights. So if they had strobe lights in it,
right,
they could cause seizures.
I don't know.
There really weren't strobe lights. It wasn't like a rave or anything like that. It was just like it was like a lot of transitional shots. It was like whoosh.
Well,
whoosh.
Obviously, that had an effect on people. Not obviously. I don't think it was a ton of people like the fucking Pokemon cartoon, but that was like hundreds of people had seizures because of that one episode of Pokemon back like.
Maybe people were just overwhelmed. Maybe people were just overwhelmed by it.
Overwhelmed with how horrible it is that they went into fits of seizure and blew up on themselves.
No, the scene is pretty hard to swallow. I mean, it's a pretty hard to swallow scene. So maybe people were just upset. It's kind of like that whole like. Did you ever see the Blair Witch Project?
Yeah. People were getting motion sickness.
Exactly, but before that, before the people were like getting motion sickness, people were saying, "Oh man, I was leaving that theater and I like threw up because of the movie and it was all crazy and shit."
Because of the motion sickness.
And that's what I'm talking about. People are saying that they're having epileptic seizures, and maybe it's because of the scene.
No, nobody left the Blair Witch Project and was like, "Man, I totally threw up because the movie was so bad." or it was so scary I threw up all over my crotch. Well, no, it was because of the motion sickness. And that's the same thing. I'm sure it's a disturbing scene. I'm sure it's gross. Actually, in the same article I read that Jim Lee took his like 11-year-old son to see it or whatever, and he threw up.
What the fuck?
He threw up during that scene, not because of the strobing, but because of this like crunching sound.
Interesting.
Or something or other.
Yeah, because she stands up and she reaches down to pick up a cup and her back breaks.
Maybe that was it. Yeah,
it's a very pronounced crack.
Right.
You know what we should do?
What?
They say that 1 out of every 4 people has some kind of proneness to epileptic somethings. We should all watch the scene together, live on camera, and see which one of us is weak.
Well, unfortunately, it's still in theaters, so it'll be pretty hard to get that scene.
Is it?
Though
I can get that scene.
I have watched that Pokemon, that episode of Pokemon.
I can get a toe with nail polish.
I've seen that episode of Pokemon, and yeah, it's all flashy and like fucking murder your brain eyes and whatnot, but I didn't have a reaction to it. I was just like, ugh, flashy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was interesting.
It is.
I'm done now.
It is very interesting.
So what are you all playing?
Well, I think we know what I've been playing.
Yes, I'm playing a lot of that. But like, I actually wanted to bring something up since it was a hot topic a couple weeks ago, and we never really talked about it unless it was one of those episodes when I wasn't here.
The episode that you were not here, whatever you're about to say, we spent the entire episode talking about it.
Really?
Both episodes in a row.
Recap.
Yeah. I don't think you guys talked about it though. But well, anyway, so did you hear about this study that was done that women who play online games / female gamers in general have more sex and are happier
than those who don't?
Than those who don't.
I'm going to go. I got to throw something out there before we continue this discussion. That would be awesome.
Uh-oh.
If any study like that could be lent any credibility, but I can almost guarantee you they polled 200 people, something like that, some tremendously minute part of the world population, and then said, yeah, according to our study of 400 people, there were 51% of them or whatever who they all played these games or whatever, and 51% of them happen to have lots of sex.
How do you,
or whatever it is.
How do you check that anyway? Like, is someone coming with like a little clipboard and a checkbox, being like, "All right, I'm waiting." Yeah, all right, you did it.
And
it's actually
penetration check. Okay.
There it is. There is
1 more %.
It's 64% of it's online. It's female online gamers.
Now, is this opposed to non-gamers or offline gamers?
Non-gaming sisters.
Okay, see that's the sort of thing that you can't even like that whole study is bogus because you can't compare this person to that person because I don't know, what if this person's a total fucking club going freak on in the alleyway type of girl? And she plays EverQuest. And then you've got, I don't know, I apologize to any librarians who I may be insulting, but then you've got Librarian Jane over here who doesn't play games and is a complete shut-in, and does nothing but read T.S. Eliot and fucking Sylvia Plath. I don't know, and she has no sex. You can't compare those people.
Well, I mean, the reason
I call shenanigans.
Well, I mean, the reason being is that half of them, more than half of them are in serious relationships.
That shouldn't even count then.
And have kids and shit, and so because of that,
there's a story somewhere there.
Yeah, there's a story somewhere.
I'm going to do a study.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a study of people who have kids and whether they're still boinking.
Yeah?
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm just going to say, you're heading that?
That would require effort, of which I don't like to exert.
Yes.
That is an interesting study. I just can't buy into it. I have a hard time with statistics and studies these days.
Why is that?
My marketing class ruined studies for me forever because it gave me a little bit of insight to how studies are done and how they're almost all bullshit.
Well, you have to admit, some of them are kind of paid studies and it's the type of thing where they're just 9 out of 10 people really love pork, and the study is sponsored by welovepork.com. So it's of course they're gonna
there's independent market research. There's independent research firms that do all sorts of shit and then just sell it to whoever, and that's fine. I get that, but still, that's a study like this has no market value. There's no intrinsic value in having that knowledge? Are you going to start selling gamer-themed condoms? You know, like, there's no
what
reason
would we
for
call
that
those?
study.
There's
They're
got to be a funny
actually-
name for
they're
Yeah,
that.
actually
it has a little mushroom cap on it.
Yes.
Woo!
You just call it the 1-Up.
Yeah.
Nobody
Anyway.
watch this. Nobody steal this. This is our market.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, our podcast is bugged.
Did you
It's
bring
true.
your extra life?
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Well,
Have you guys seen that preview for Yakuza Dead Souls?
I have. ...
Dot dot dot.
I have not.
And
Like, Yakuza is really cool.
yeah.
I really, really want to get around to playing Yakuza 4,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know about this one.
No.
It's just one of those games that if you put it in my hands and said, here, you can have this, I want you to play it,
Yeah.
I might. But there's a very high probability that there would be something else on my shelf or in a store that I would rather play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those games that might be cool, but I kind of can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I know for right now, I just don't have enough knowledge of the game, and I won't get around to it until I get through the plethora of other games that I have lined up that I need to play that I haven't. I got like a year's
And
worth of games in like November that I have to play them all.
Yeah, I'll be catching up on November till fucking March.
Yeah.
at
Jeez.
earliest.
If that. I mean,
Well, I
gosh.
only throw out March because I would imagine that's Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3, yeah.
And that's
There's-
when all other games get dropped.
Huh.
Until I'm done.
Well, speaking of other games getting dropped, I did not play only Skyrim this week.
You did not play Skyrim, or you did not play only Skyrim?
I did not play only Skyrim.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you play?
I said there was one game that could pull me away from Skyrim, and I came home from work one day to find that my lovely woman Tara had decided to get me a gift that consisted of, I think you saw the picture of this gift, by the way, a big, like, wine-sized bottle of Sam Adams' New World Triple.
Nice.
And on one
Whoa.
side was Gears of War 3, and on the other
Nice.
side was Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yes.
That's a good day.
That's a great
And
day.
what?
So
And a
good it made
six-pack.
Diana sneeze.
I
Yes.
know. Excuse me.
So yeah, I played. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Revelations, and
I'm jealous.
it is so cool. Like, it starts out with the most epic in-game cutscene that I've ever seen in the game.
Whoa. Slow down.
Oh,
Ever?
I'm full speed ahead on this. It's the best in-game cutscene I have ever seen in a video game. And it's
Wow,
in the
that's-
trailer too. So like, if you've seen the trailer, you know which one I'm talking about.
I haven't seen the trailer.
It's as epic as it is in the trailer because they kind of put this kind of like song behind it that kind of free associates a little bit, and it's kind of like a cool like, you know, juxtaposition. But like, to see it in the game and to have the narration going on in the background and have it like cutting to this action and back to Ezio writing a letter, you know, and it's great. It's better
Right on.
than most movies I've seen, and
Wow.
it's it starts the game off on the right foot to say the least. So
Excellent.
so then you actually get to Constantinople, and it feels a lot more like, as you might expect, it feels a lot more Arabic. So it feels a lot more like the first one. Like the people
Mhm.
walking around look like, you know, people out of more people out of the first one than like out of the other two. So it definitely feels different. Like it feels a lot different from Brotherhood than Brotherhood did from 2.
Really?
So, yeah. And
Ooh, exciting.
Ezio is he is an old grizzled man.
Yeah.
He's definitely, you know, like, I mean, everyone knows this, he's kind of like later in his days, but it kind of feels like that when you're playing him. He's kind of like this old school guy, and he's being shown around by these new school, young blood, Ottoman, not Ottoman, but like, Turkish assassins. And they're like, what, you've never seen a hook blade before? Let me show you how to use the hook blade. Hey, who's mentoring who here, old man? And it's great. And the hook blade is awesome. You can ride zip lines with it. You can use it to climb faster. You can use it to reach ledges, like you jump off. And like usually there's always those few jumps in Assassin's Creed where you jump off the ledge and you think you're going to make the roof on the other side, and you are just inches short, and you fall right down and look like a doofus. So, but now with the hook blade, you can extend your hook blade and catch that ledge.
You made that sound like almost like an infomercial. Like I picture the first scenario where he's jumping and he just barely misses it in black and white. And he's making a frowny face. In full color with the hook blade. Like,
don't let this happen to you.
Are you constantly just falling short and then plummeting 6 stories to shatter your legs?
Yeah.
No more. With the
it always cuts to the woman too, who's just like covered in shit, and she's just like a hot mess, and her hair's like,
she's a hot mess, black and white. She's like trying to mop the floor, but she's like flinging dirt everywhere, and she spins around and hits her husband in the face with the mop and shit.
I just can't wash these dishes without throwing them on the floor and acting like it was an accident. So.
Well, excellent. That sounds cool.
Yeah. And
I really want to play that game.
And there's more assassins in it. Like as much as Brotherhood felt like, oh, now you're starting this Brotherhood. Well, in this one, the network is already there, and you're just kind of like joining in on them. So, you get like a lot of help earlier on. And then there's this whole thing with like you have assassins' dens and Templar dens, and the Templars can attack your dens and wipe them out. Like
what?
Certain circumstances, like if you get too high of a profile in the game, the Templars will come and they'll try to root out your assassin's den and take it over. And they have a kind of an interesting kind of mini game that's kind of like an RTS, where you place assassins on rooftops, crossbowmen, riflemen, leaders, and you place walls in the street, and they try to launch a barrage at your hideout, and you have to.
Hold on.
What is that?
Don't type. Anytime you type, that fucking vacuum flies through, or something. I can still hear it.
Is that a computer fan? I've always wondered what that was.
I don't know what it is, but it's driving me nuts.
What is?
Okay, since you can't hear it, it's totally your fault. It sounded like an airplane just flew through the podcast. So
I didn't do anything. I literally have just been like staring at this. I
typed.
typed for like a second.
I'm just saying that was exactly the same time that the airplane flew through.
I don't know
if you've got like a control tower in there, and you're directing JFK flights or whatever.
Tower control. That's exactly what it's like. It's like tower control, the mini game, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest.
Tower defense.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm kind of like, I'd kind of rather go back to the main experience and kind of skip over this, but.
Do you have to do that? Do you have to take part in that?
You do. The one that I did, because I'm not that far into the game, so they set it up in the plot where 2 dens are under attack. You go here, and your tour guide Yusef goes and defends the other one. So you have to do that one, and you have to win. So if you lose, which I did the first time,
we forgive you.
Yeah, they just send you back until you win, and then. So after that, I'm not sure if I ever have to do it again. I kind of hope it's optional, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it too much. I kind of find it a bit much to deal with.
Like takes you out of it.
No, I mean it's not a mini game in the point where it's like little squares and stuff, and it's like totally like a random like old school mini game. Like it still feels like Assassin's Creed, but it's very like I don't know. It's different. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like we'll see if it gets cooler. Like so far it's like okay, that was novel, but no more, please.
Fair enough.
At least not forced. So.
Yeah.
So,
But other than that, everything's awesome. And
Did you start Gears of War 3 yet?
No, I haven't. And I'm going to be playing the second one over, I've decided, before I play the third. Alex has raised a finger.
You should play this game with me.
Can you do 3-op in that?
No.
You can't, it's just co-op?
Why? Did you make plans with somebody else, even though we talked about this last week?
I'm afraid...
Actually, farther back.
I'm afraid someone may have claim jumped you.
What? Who?
Mr. Philip Law.
What?
We'll probably be playing Gears 2 at some point.
That's such baloney!
If you can, like, 3-op it, I wish you could.
Oh, now I see. So now, Alex, you're old, buddy. Alex.
Well, you can play 3 with me.
Whatever. You know what? I don't want to play your stupid game.
Well, maybe
Everyone
you
wants to
guys
play my
can
game.
switch off.
No, fuck that. I don't take leftovers.
Aww.
Aww.
This is baloney sauce. I won't stand for it. You can keep your Gears of War and go fuck yourself.
Ah.
Go fuck yourself, stop!
All right, whatever.
And there you have it. But that's probably going to take a while because I've got Revelations, which is a heavyweight game, and then I've got Skyrim, which is not anywhere close to being done. Like,
well, I'll tell you something. Since it is fairly obligatory, I'm going to throw in my quick Skyrim update. Don't worry, it'll be quick. Hit level 50, which is ridiculous. And I've gotten to a point now where I'm so absurdly powerful, I had to increase the difficulty of the game
so what are you
because
playing on now?
it was just unfair.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week.
I did? That I had to increase the difficulty? No, I just did that.
No, you mentioned that you increased the difficulty from hard to like, or from normal to like.
I had to do it again. I had to put it up to very hard. I had to put it on master, the highest difficulty, and I'm still dropping dragons like it's nobody's business. Something I realized is I don't think their defense goes up. I think their attack power goes up though, because when I do take damage, I get fucked up. Like I get horribly mangled. Like a dragon will do like a breath attack, and I'll stand there going, ha 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 ha, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't used to happen.
No.
But yeah, that's my whole update. I found some fun glitches, but can't really. You have to see them.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the patch that came out? That it might have only been for the PS3. I didn't download it.
It's everybody's patch.
It's everybody's patch. So there's lag in the game, right? Like it stutters every now and then. People were complaining about that, so they released a patch, and the patch, it's debatable whether or not it fixed the lag, but what it did do is it made dragons fly backwards.
Yep.
I've heard about this.
And a few other things too. And some, I don't know, some people are pissed off about it, but I think they fixed it again since then. But hey,
but that's had to
Bethesda
release
game.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Bethesda had to release a press release apologizing for that, and they said that from now on, which I don't understand how they weren't doing this before, their updates, their patch updates will be, I guess they'll focus more on improving them even more. It's just like, well, do it right the first time, but understandable,
I've never had a problem with frame rate or choppiness or anything like that.
Me neither.
But mine, being PC, crashes a lot.
Does it really?
And it doesn't give an error. It just it's just gone and just drops me to my desktop. And it's really annoying. It's really fucking annoying. But it's usually not that devastating because the game has such a robust autosave system that anytime you go through a door, basically it autosaves, or you open your menu, it autosaves.
Anytime you
so
fast
it's usually
travel,
not
I
a big
think
problem.
Autosaves where you were and where you're going. So
Right.
yeah,
It's usually not an issue. But there have been instances where I've been just roaming around, shooting stuff and killing things or whatever, and I have no need to fast travel and I have no need to open my menu. And then the game crashes. This has happened twice. And the game crashes and I lose like 30 minutes of play. It's like, God, that's annoying. That is really annoying. But, you know, again, this is Bethesda. They make fantastic games with horrible problems.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like not like you love them enough that you keep buying them, you know. So
well,
it's obviously doing something.
Games. The games are excellent.
Yeah,
you come to expect that there's going to be glitches. Like I actually had one in a quest where I don't think I can advance farther in that quest. It's a side quest for a Daedric artifact, actually. That reminds me, actually. I got another story after this. So it's a quest for a Daedric artifact. I'm supposed to talk to a guy, but I talked to him before I did the previous thing in the quest, just randomly. I just randomly found him. So that never updated. And then when I did the previous thing, it said, oh, go talk to this guy, which I'd already done. So now all I get is like the stuff that like, oh, you're back again. Oh, you're asking me about this again. You know, he's just repeating the stuff. And so I don't think I can advance that quest line any further, even though I found the next step. I found the guy that he sent me to the first time. He told me who to go find after that, and I found the guy. But I don't have dialogue choices for him to advance the quest line because I haven't completed the... Yeah, little things like that. Here's the other story I got, though, which is more interesting, I think. So, I encountered Shagarath randomly in my questing. And it was very unexpected. It just sort of came out of nowhere. But, so... You know, as we know, Oblivion had the Shivering Isles expansion, and if you played through it, you know that you eventually become the Mad God himself. You eventually become Shagarath through the Grey March and the renewal cycle and everything, and you know the old one goes away and you take his place and you become the new Shagarath.
So for anyone who hadn't gotten around to it, ha.
Spoiler alert!
You've had plenty of time to do so. So
That's
anyway,
true.
I encountered him in this game, and they don't. First of all, he looks different than he did in the Shivering Isles. He looks a good deal different. He still has kind of like the same mannerisms and stuff. His voice is mostly the same, but like maybe a little bit different. But he definitely looks different. And he mentions, just kind of like offhandedly, that the title was passed down to him, making me think that they wrote the dialogue in such a very kind of like crafty two-sided way where if you've never played the first one, it's just like a random fact. But if you did play through all that stuff, it's kind of like your old character comes back and then spends the next 30 minutes messing with you. And it's
That's
great.
Awesome.
It's fantastic. Like I got messed with by what I saw as my old Oblivion character, because it did look like an older version of him. So.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
It's probably stupid
that.
luck that it just happened to look like him, but like yeah, so that was a fun experience.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Have any of you guys were a part of the Xbox dashboard preview?
No, I actually haven't turned my Xbox on in like a month.
So that's a no. So then I've been a part of that the Xbox Live the dashboard preview for for a couple of months now. And it's really nice. It looks really, really nice. They changed it and made it at kind of it's a very, very dramatic change, and it's kind of reminds me of like you ever seen a Windows phone?
Yeah, the panels.
Yeah, with the panels and such. It's kind of like that. And it's neat. It takes some getting used to it. It took me a while to get used to it, but once I got used to it, I was like, oh, this makes sense. And I kind of dig it. Well, so some of the improvements, if you don't know that what's coming up, I think it's a when is it? What day is it today? Today's the the 4th in 2 days. So on Tuesday, there's going to be like a huge the update is coming to everybody. Everybody's going to finally get it, and so like some of the things that they've like included is like they've put a section for Bing. So if you want to search the internet, you can search the internet using Bing. There's like Facebook sharings, and there's this like feature called beacons, which is kind of neat. For somebody who, I don't really play multiplayer that much, but for somebody who plays multiplayer, it's kind of neat in that, first of all, it tells you, like, if you're playing Skyrim, as an example, it'll tell you, these are your friends that are playing Skyrim. That's one part of the beacon. And that's, like, how it is right now anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But the next thing, the next level is that if you are trying to play a multiplayer game, you can use this beacon as like hey, I'm looking to play Gears of War 3, and you just set your beacon up, and then if anybody wants to play Gears of War 3 with you, you can.
So it's like an Xbox-wide lobby type of thing.
Ish.
Like, it's like you're putting up your looking for game flag or whatever.
For party, yeah,
but just
sort of
kind
like
of restricted to your friends, I would imagine.
I don't know.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
restricted
I would
to
hope
your
so
friends.
Too, yeah.
I wonder if that's a feature you can change to, like, just in general, like a regional thing or something like that.
I don't know. I haven't really played with it that much because, again, I don't really play multiplayer games that much. I've kind of been playing Skyrim a lot. So there's that, and like some of the really cool things that they've added is they actually just announced a couple of days ago that UFC for Xbox Live is going to be added, is coming to Xbox, which is kind of neat. So if you can never really see any of the UFC matches, you can finally see them on your Xbox, which is kind of cool. I think it's going to be part of a subscription.
Like the pay-per-views,
yeah,
or
so
like old fights?
You can watch your the pay-per-view events
without paying for them.
I don't know if it's without paying for them. I think you can essentially. I think you may have to buy them through Xbox Live, but that's kind of cool because of the way they make it attractive is that they are adding features as like you're watching the game or as you're watching the fight. There are like several features. I almost was a part of like I could actually almost see one of the matches that was on like 2 weeks ago, and I missed it. There were so many people on that. It was the Edgar versus Maynard one that happened like 2 weeks.
That actually could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't get pay-per-view if you don't have either a cable box or digital cable or satellite or something. I have none of these things because I just can't be bothered. But if I really wanted to watch UFC, then I could have that option of watching it on Xbox. That's cool. Okay, I see merit in that.
You know something?
And on top of that, it's not just.
Sorry, Jeremy.
The thing is, it's just you're just not also watching on. You're also just not watching it on pay-per-view. You're also getting like the special features behind it. But it's neat. I mean, like usually with pay-per-view, you just pay for pay-per-view. But like in addition to just paying to see the fight, you're also getting these extra things that are involved.
Well, if I get digital beer and digital hot dogs served to me, I will be very happy.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Jeremy?
Something related that I came across, or I didn't come across it. They sent me an email telling me this. PlayStation Network now has the NFL Sunday Ticket, which if you're not,
they've actually had that for a while.
I didn't know they had it at all. So if you're not a DirecTV subscriber, which I am not, that's the only cable provider you can get it from. That I'm aware of. You certainly can't get it from Time Warner.
Like if you had a subscription to if you had a subscription to ESPN, there are some benefits that come along with that, which has also been integrated in the Xbox Live dashboard too. But just 2 days ago, they added Sci-Fi Channel to it, to the dashboard, to preview it. And they also added this new thing called Epics, which is like watch it's like an a la carte cable provider. So like you could pick channels and such that you want to see, and movies and things. I guess it seems like it's another Zune, but it gives you more options and more things that you could watch. Which I mean I don't understand like what the benefit of it is, but apparently it's also kind of connected to Netflix, and folks who have Netflix also may be able to see Epics for free. So that's kind of another plus. I don't know. It's just not clear yet. I haven't been able to check that out. But you know, Xbox Live turning into an entertainment center, and it really is. Like my Xbox is essentially the epicenter of my entertainment in the house.
And mine used to be, and then I swapped over to PlayStation, and now like I don't use. Well, like I said, I haven't turned on my Xbox in like a month, and my PlayStation has become the home for Netflix, and I have, you know, I stream. One of the reasons that I switched over to the PlayStation, as far as using it as like a home, you know, like a full entertainment thing, is because I can stream without having to deal with Windows Media Player or Media whatever it is.
Pain in the ass to set out.
It's fucking retarded.
It's ridiculous.
There's this great free, I think, fairly legitimate program for the computer that you can install on your computer that will then stream everything to your PlayStation. So, and it's not just like, oh, I'm looking for, you know, videos and whatever. It like has my drives, and I can look through the folders and be like, I can just, you know, turn my laptop on, whatever, or I've, you know, pirated the latest episode of whatever, and then zip it right to the TV, and it streams it, and it's perfect. It's awesome.
What program is that?
I think it's called PS3 something.
Well done, Machowski.
PS3 Media Server, actually. I think it's called PS3 Media Server. I'll double check for you, but I believe that is it. And it's awesome. You just turn it on your PlayStation, and then I don't even actually think you have to search for media servers. It'll just find it if you have wireless.
Yeah. Now, remind me, do you have the old Xbox, or do you have the Elite?
I have the OG Xbox. Old.
Oh. Then I have the new one that just came out, the really...
And Chris has the Elite. We've got the whole thing running.
Yeah, the whole collection here.
Because, yeah, I have the old one too, and I often wonder if I had the newer, sleeker... I think the newer one is quieter, is it not?
Oh, yeah. Everything about it is better.
I feel like if I had that, it might then rival my PlayStation for primacy. But then again, you know, the more I think about it, the interface for the PlayStation, I've just come to kind of like better than the Xbox interface.
Yeah,
I just find it easier to navigate.
Really, once you see that new dashboard, like it's kind of reminiscent. On Tuesday, once you see that new dashboard, it's kind of reminiscent of the PS3 dashboard, in that, you know, you can switch back and forth. Except,
well, why don't I just use the PS3 dashboard?
I'm not done talking. So you have
I will take off my mustache to that.
Yeah. So you have your center thing where, like, you know, with PlayStation you can move things around like that, up and down. Except, you know, and then, you know, you can move that way whenever you want to switch. Mm-hmm. But like with the new Xbox Live dashboard, you can move this way, and the content is down here. So
that
I don't know.
Like PlayStation. I think it's something I'll have to see, because it sounds to me like the Xbox was like, "Hey, the Wii did something cool with their avatars. Let's take that. Okay, let's make a dashboard. Oh, hey, look, PlayStation did something cool with their dashboard. Let's take that."
Nothing wrong with that, really. That's just competition.
Whatever. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it might be cool. What I'm picturing is basically a PlayStation dashboard with a big Xbox logo on it. I'm sure I will find out on Tuesday. I'll go ahead and turn my Xbox on and plug it in. Or I mean, it's plugged in, but I actually loaned my Wii to somebody because it just never gets used, and
That's
he
rough.
desperately wanted to play the new Zelda game, and I knew I couldn't afford to get that, or I wouldn't have time to play it right now. So I was like, here, borrow my Wii, get your Zelda game, and as payment, when you're done with Zelda and you give me the Wii back, you let me borrow Zelda.
That's a good deal.
That's a good
I
deal.
thought that was a pretty fucking good deal.
Yeah.
Nice deal. I feel bad. I really want to play it, but I don't know. It's the same thing. Like, again, essentially not wanting to dedicate the time to reconnect my Wii.
Well, let me throw something out there. Since we're talking about systems, this is something that I found interesting. And I don't know if you guys saw this. This came up yesterday, but an article I found on ThriftyNerd.com is about how the PS Vita is going to have games that will, if you get the digital download version of the game as opposed to the in-store retail version of the game, you can get it for up to like 40% off. The zinger is that the Vita is going to have completely proprietary memory cards, so you have to buy the ones that Sony sells, and they're going to be retarded expensive.
Yeah. I saw that. They're going to be really, really expensive.
Yeah, the 32 gigabyte is $120.
Ridiculous.
Which I couldn't see myself buying anything smaller because I know I'd just have to replace it at some point if I got that. So of course I would have to get the biggest one. But also consider if you're getting the Vita and you're like, you know what? I'm all about it. I enjoy my portable games. I'm really looking forward to a number of games on the Vita. This is the future, blah, blah, blah.
If you're all in on it. Yeah.
Then it will eventually pay for itself in savings. Because this is directly from the article. I'm quoting it here. It says, if you're saving around $15 a game, you only need to buy 8 games from the PlayStation Network to have that 32 gigabyte card paid for. 8 games is not that unreasonable. However, you've got to be in it to win it. You have to buy 8 games for it to pay for itself. And if you do plan on doing that, go for it. That's awesome. Also, however, if you like to trade your games in when you're done with them, clearly you can't do that with a digital download.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You just gotta look at like what kind of gamer are you? Do you like to sell your games and then put that towards new games? If you do, clearly digital downloads are not the way to go for you. And this might not be the best approach. But if you like to keep your library of games, or if you don't care, or whatever, or if you're independently wealthy, then get that big card, buy the digital downloads, and be all set. I thought that was interesting, though.
It's a lot of money.
40% off. That's
still a lot of money, though.
Rad.
That's a.
But that's like, you're
That's a
paying, how
stern
much is it, $250?
It's a lot of money up front. Well,
Yeah,
$250 for what?
For your, at minimum, for your Vita.
Yeah. It's something like that. Like $250 and $300, I think.
Yeah, so you're paying that much money, and then to pay another $150 for your 32 gig memory card. If you want a 32 gig memory card.
Let's recall. I don't know if you guys will remember this, Diana. I would imagine you would. When the PSP came out, I had to have one, and I had to have a memory card, and I had to have games, and I had to have these accessories, and I had to have this and that and the other thing. And in one night on the PSP, I spent $490.
Yep, I remember that.
$490. And the way that this article has worked the pricing out is if you want to get those 8 games, to pay that shit off and blah de blah, or that was somewhere else. It ended up being about like $550 to get that all taken care of right up front. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Cool. I'm excited for the Vita. You couldn't pay me to buy one That wouldn't really make sense. I won't be buying one when it launches.
But it's your birthday.
I know. Well, clearly I won't be buying one because I'll get one as a
Your
gift.
111th birthday.
Right, everybody? I'll get one as a gift? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy one at launch because I've learned my lesson with launch systems. They all suck balls. There's never enough games for any new peripheral, any new system. There just is no reason for me to spend that kind of money on something until they've unfucked the hardware and given me games for it.
Yep.
Which again, and I know, I put my foot in my mouth a lot when I say this, and I know Diana gets angry, but this is again the reason I won't get a Kinect until they actually release enough good games that I can put them in both hands. One or two games, that's not worth a $150 peripheral to me. It's neat technology. They're getting their handle on it right now. They're still working on it. And they will get there, and I will get one.
And it might just lead to other things.
Right. Yeah. I'll wait till they've figured it out completely, and the developers have figured it out, and they're making games that really actually utilize it well, and then I'll get it. I know there are a few games out right now that do utilize it well. I just don't have a whole lot of interest in them. Like, one I really wanted to want was Double Fine's, Sesame Street game. I really wanted to want that because it looks really, really charming. It looks like it's got great humor and it's tremendously fun, but I'm not 5. So it's not something that, I don't have a son. It's not something that, that's being marketed towards me, so I'm not going to get it. But it looks like it utilizes the Kinect really well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unlike Cough Fable 3.
Yeah. So something kind of sad that kind of depressed me a couple of days ago. I'm sorry, but did you guys hear that Fumito Ueda, from Team Ico has left Sony?
Oh. Okay, I thought somebody died. I was like,
no, not somebody died, but but essentially the dude, the main guy from Team Ico left Sony, and so apparently after The Last Guardian is released, which is he apparently is working on freelancing it right now. Mm-hmm. It's on freelance, and so as soon as he's done with that, he's leaving. I don't know if Team Ico is also, kind of heading out, but
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't care if they leave Sony. I just hope they stay together.
Yeah, I hope they stay together. Or
he builds another team. Because if he's the creative head, then, I'm sorry, other employees, you're not as important.
Oh.
You're not. I know you do a lot of the legwork, and I'm sure you all have creative genius and whatnot. But when the head leaves, that's the most important part. So if he opens a new studio, maybe he'll be able to pull a few of those people from Sony to help, spearhead a new studio. But if not, he'll find other people that will be able to execute his vision. And if that's the case, whatever. If he's not happy at Sony, so long and best wishes. I hope you do something else. I hope you continue to use what I feel is as close to creative genius as you can get with that type of game.
Yeah, just kind of sad. But I
guess.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's sad. It's just a moving on.
Yeah, it is moving on, but then you don't want to
love for Sony.
Well, as long as it doesn't delay it's The Last Guardian, then I'm perfectly fine with it.
Oh yeah, no delays. No delays due to bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't appreciate bullshit delays.
So, and then one last thing that I wanted to just mention. Well, actually, I have one of two last things I want to mention because
then I get to mention something.
No, because we're running out of time, and it's too bad. And this has been the Jeremy Alex podcast.
No, this has been the Alex Dianna podcast. Poor Jeremy's sitting there playing with his fucking mustache.
Oh my god, right. You guys have been talking for the past 45 minutes.
What are you talking about, Captain Xbox Dashboard?
Alright, I got something that we can all participate in. How's this? We've all been playing Skyrim, right? What side did you take? Are you an Imperial or are you a Stormcloak?
I haven't chosen
taken any.
I'm
I chose sides.
119 hours deep into that game and I haven't chosen.
Really?
I kind of forgot.
I officially chose a side in the war.
Who'd you choose? Stormcloaks, because I'm a Nord and I'm a bitch. What?
I'm not a Nord in this game. But
You're
yes, I
not?
chose the Stormcloaks. I told you, I'm a
What-
Breton.
What are you?
I'm a Breton.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Magic Man.
Yes. Magic Warrior Man.
It's a magic man.
So
You chose the Stormcloaks?
I chose the Stormcloaks because there's a lot of bullshit going on with the Empire. It's not the Empire that you knew and loved from Oblivion.
This is true, but there's also, I don't know. I've gotten far enough and I've experienced enough things that I kind of feel like Stormcloaks shenanigans.
Well, yeah.
I'm not throwing spoilers out there.
No.
This is all stuff that I've gleaned.
They're not the good guys by a long stretch.
Right.
Nobody's a good guy.
But
Yeah, it's like
they're
pick one of two evils.
yeah, but they're like way, in my opinion, they are way closer to the side of right than not so much the Imperials, but who controls the Imperials right now, which is the Falmer.
Ah, yeah.
So there you
That's
go.
true.
Anyway, you guys should pick
All right.
a side. You guys should join my Stormcloak rebellion.
With
drive the
that
Empire out of
mustache,
Skyrim.
of course.
That will probably happen. Actually, I don't know. I wish I didn't have to choose it at any point, but I know just from looking at achievements that I'm going to have to choose at some point in order to further the story.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
pretty inevitable that you have to at least lean one way or the other.
But it'll be like whichever side I choose, they're going to be really lucky to have me because at the point that I eventually actually do choose a side and start taking part in their stupid civil war, I'll be like the #1 NBA draft pick, like super all-star, I'm better than your entire army type of character. So
Of course, you're the Dragonborn.
I'll go to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Dovahkiin. Boy.
There was something that I saw that this is not new. This happened in August, so I'm embarrassed to have missed it. But Uber Entertainment, makers of Monday Night Combat, are making a new game called Super Monday Night Combat.
Oh, nice.
But this looks a lot different than the arena-based game that they had before, which was very fun. But this one is actually going to be more similar to Defense of the Ancients or League of Legends, which, if you're not familiar, it's kind of wow. I actually don't know how to describe them. I want to say real-time strategy, but it's not. You control one person. Well, anyway, at its core, it's still going to have the same basic premise of Monday Night Combat. You're on a team, you got these robots, you got to get them to destroy your opponent's money ball or whatever. That's basically the same, but this one is much bigger, more characters, more weapons, more tower defense, more objectives and whatever, much better graphics, and, sorry Xbox fans, it's PC only. That's
Nice.
a big middle finger if this doesn't come out on video. But anyway, no, it's free to play, and it looks very good. So
Cool.
I just ran across the trailer for that today. So just throwing that out there for anybody who likes either Monday Night Combat or Dota and Dota 2, which is
Well, there you go.
la la la. And
If you buy right now, we'll throw in a copy of such and such a thing.
Oh, Uber does it.
And something Dianna had mentioned to me the other day, and when she mentioned it, I wasn't really sure what it was, and I kind of went, oh, yeah, I'll check it out. And then once I did check it out, I just went, oh, it's this! And that's Starhawk, which I was just like, oh, okay, Starhawk, sure, sounds like a game. Whatever, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to looking it up. And I got around to it a lot faster than I thought I would, and I realized it's basically a sequel to Warhawk, which was, I believe, a launch title for the PS3. If it wasn't a launch, it was a second run,
Yeah.
like right at the beginning of the system's life. And if you recall, Warhawk was a foot vehicle flight multiplayer game that utilized the 6-axis, which was interesting. But I had a hard time with it. I wasn't very good at it. I think you can turn it off, but anyway, and it was really popular, and they had built up a community for it where there was no community before. And it was really interesting, and there's no single player; it was all multiplayer. So per the law of Michovsky, I didn't get around to it. I played it a few times, and I went, "Oh, hey, this is cool," except I don't play multiplayer all that often. So anyway, so I looked up Starhawk. And Starhawk looks like, I don't want to say more of the same, but they've got the same, or they have a very similar thing wherein you are foot, vehicle, and air. It's based in space, and it's you also build bases this time. It's tower defense. And it looks so much cooler than Warhawk. So if you enjoyed Warhawk, you will fucking love Starhawk based on what I've seen. I watched a couple of the dev diaries and some of the trailers and the intro movie and stuff, and they all look fairly promising. And bonus for all Alex Michovskys out there, they're single player. So I'm actually seriously looking at that game. And if you haven't checked it out yet, you might consider just hopping online, looking up Starhawk, and watching a couple trailers because it really does look awesome.
Or you can go to our Facebook page because we're going to be giving away a crap load of free beta testing codes that launch officially on Tuesday.
Jigga! So if you're not busy updating your Xbox, go to our Facebook page and we'll have these beta keys.
And hopefully they won't change it to the point where it becomes almost unnavigable like our YouTube page. Which I can't find my way around it anymore.
Yeah, I got to reacclimate myself to the new
They changed everything. It's awesome.
I do before we go off on that, I do want to have this caveat to the whole spiel I just went off on. That was not me plugging the game. I have no self-interest in this. I actually did find it very appealing when I went and did the research. So yeah, this is not some shameless plug. Oh, by the way, this and that. Oh, and we've got these beta keys. No, it was when Dianna told me we had beta keys that I went and looked it up and went, oh shit, this looks awesome. So there's my post-comment disclaimer.
Do you want to know a sad fact?
What's with
Witcher 2?
Yes.
God!
Because Witcher 2, The Witcher 2 was pirated at least 4.5 million times.
Jesus.
Wow.
For every copy of for every time somebody purchased a copy of Witcher 2, at least 4 or 5 downloads were illegal copies.
That's a shame.
Isn't that kind of sad?
See, it's staggering statistics like that make me feel bad about being a pirate.
On that note,
You're
I've
probably the
officially
reason,
purchased the
that
Skyrim soundtrack that I pirated before, but I said I was going to purchase it, and I did.
Good man.
So there you go.
Good.
For the record, I don't pirate games. I did it once with Civilization 5, twice, with StarCraft 2. However, I then went on to purchase those games and redeem myself. I flogged myself a little bit with a whip. I dropped a pot on the ground and then I knelt on it. I begged for forgiveness and I purchased the games. I believe in pirating movies because Hollywood is bloated. I believe in pirating TV because cable prices are bullshit. I don't believe in pirating games.
4.5 million copies.
Staggering.
That's actually kind of amazing.
That's offensive. I am offended.
How much does that game cost?
It's like $40. $40? That's $40.
That's a lot
the game
of
looks
money.
Awesome. I still haven't played it because there's just too many games.
$180
and I never finished the first one.
And it's PC too, so it's just like... It's like, Steam had so many sales for The Witcher 2. I mean, I think I got it for like $10. Like, no joke.
Yeah,
I got The Witcher 2 for $10.
It was on sale last week for like disturbingly cheap, and I was like, God, I should really buy this. But even at really cheap, I couldn't justify it because
I thought you bought it already. Didn't you buy it when during that special? I think it was actually, was it last year or sometime? Not last year. a couple of months ago where Witcher 2 was on sale with, like, if you packaged it with maybe Witcher or another game.
No, I already had The Witcher.
Then you get it for like $10. I think I remember I got it as like a special sale.
I got The Witcher, and wait, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I just opened my Steam library and found out I have Brink.
Yeah.
How'd you get Brink?
Where did that come from?
Just like out of nowhere.
I never bought that. I'm gonna start installing it.
Well, there you go.
No, I did get Dead Space 2 for $5.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I haven't even installed it yet, and I don't care about the fact that I'll have to start over. I'll probably save it for next summer when nothing comes out.
Are you gonna play it on ridiculously hard again and get stuck and not finish it? That
I'm
game was
not
hard
going
enough
to.
on normal.
I will play it on fucking regular human level because it's like it's like t-shirt sizes. One company's large is not another company's large. It's another company's medium, and Dead Space 2 difficulty is on a whole nother fucking curve. It's like easy mode is easy, normal is hard, very hard is stupid hard, and fucking whatever the highest one is quit the game now before you throw a controller through your TV.
There were at least a
playing.
few points in the game where I was playing through it on the normal level, where me and Tara were like looking at each other and being like, "How is Alex going to get through this part on
He won't.
Zealot?"
He never did.
And he never did.
Yeah.
So.
So we should
all right,
probably be wrapping up.
We got to wrap this up. Wrap it up like a Christmas present or a Hanukkah present. Relax.
Yeah.
Or whatever other holidays you celebrate.
Kwanzaa.
There you go, Kwanzaa. Ramadan happens in the end of December, I believe.
Alex, you're frozen right now, and you're.
Isn't
you're
what's that?
unfrozen.
What's that
You
Steinfeld
look
holiday?
really weird, actually. So, Georgimus? Festivus. Festivus.
Festivus.
Or if you are a fan
That's
of
like Gary
The Adventures
Sheffield's
of Dr.
holiday.
McNinja, then you would know that we are currently celebrating Katanika.
Katanika.
There was I was on the Dr. McNinja website, as I am always Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And
This podcast brought to you by Dr. McNinja. Just kidding.
A local library in Connecticut, which I believe is where Christopher Hastings lives, who's the artist and the writer. A local library had on their, like one of their signs out there where you have all the letters and you put up like the whatever, a marquee. They had a marquee and it said, "Closed for the holidays. Happy Katanika." That was pretty neat. Oh! I forgot about this. Is a 5-second story. I was driving down the street today, and I went past a laundromat, and it was one of those times where you see on like Failblog or whatever around the internet, you'll see these signs with marquees, and they say something absurd or whatever. And I went past a laundromat, or it was a cleaners. It was like the Gleason Cleaners or whatever, and the marquee said, "Drop your pants here." I got so excited. It said, "Drop your pants here, half off." And I was so excited. I almost slammed on the brakes and turned around so I could take a picture.
You need to swing by there and take a picture.
You need to literally stop what you're doing, go home, get all your dirty clothes, and give them business. It's like, I saw the sign, I'm dropping my pants.
I mean,
half off.
Drop your pants here.
Yeah.
Half off. Oh, outstanding.
That's great.
Yeah.
I have
And with that,
I have a 5-second question. Did either of you
Yay.
see the new World of Warcraft commercial with Chuck Norris in it?
Yes, I have seen
yes.
That's so awesome.
it. That is comical.
Well, there
Have
you
you
go.
seen the Expendables poster? That like whoever looks at it would grow like chin hairs. I mean, there's so much testosterone on there that like
it's just a bunch of muscles.
it's just muscles and like beards and like steroids and just so much man.
One last thing, and I know Jeremy would appreciate this more than many folks, even though it's not Jeremy Soule. The Star Wars: The Old Republic is that if you buy the collector's edition, you get the soundtrack. However, every day, I believe it's every day, leading up to the December 20th launch, if you go to the Old Republic Facebook page, they will have a track from the soundtrack that isn't on the soundtrack that you get with the collector's edition, free to download.
Ooh.
And if you like Star Wars music, I don't know if it's John Williams or not, but it's very John Williams-esque. Follows a lot of those same like orchestral themes and whatnot. Go there every day, and I know it's a ploy to get more traffic to their Facebook page, which, hey, whatever, great ploy. It's gonna work. You get a free track to download.
That's
so
awesome.
That's Knights of the Old Republic Facebook page. I will be there.
The Old Republic. Not Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, the Old Republic, right.
Yeah, Star Wars, the Old Republic Facebook page. They'll have a free track every day.
I read a really good review on that, and it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the 2 beta weekends that I've spent playing it have been fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy it. I've already got like 8 or 9 people that are all prepared to get on the same server. We're going to rock that shit. So, and because I'm a big fucking dork, it probably won't be before the game comes out, but in honor of the game, at some point over the next couple months, possibly for my birthday, I'm going to treat myself to a Sith Empire tattoo.
So right that you and Chris,
his Jedi Order tattoo here. I'll have my Sith Order tattoo right there.
And you're officially married.
Yep.
You guys are
He doesn't know this yet. I haven't told Chris this, and I know that when he hears it, he's gonna be like,
"Oh my god!"
Chris is gonna go, gay." And I'll say like, "Hey, whatever, man."
No homo.
So anyway, blah blah blah.
You guys are such fucking nerds.
Yeah, I know. This is no.
Well, that's okay, because I kind of want to get a Triforce right here as well. So
I might punch you, but for it.
Why would you punch me?
You can't get it right there. The Triforce there. Gotta get it there.
No, why would I want it there?
Because that's where the characters have it.
I know, but I don't want it there. That's really inconvenient.
It actually would be a terrible decision.
That would be absolutely
Unless you
terrible.
planned on being a bartender for life, or a tattoo artist for life, or something like this where you'll never have to work in an office.
No.
Then you can go for it. But yeah. Anyway.
I will not be getting the tattoo that Alex suggested that I get, despite the fact that it's pretty fun.
You should do it. Oh, Jeremy, I found an iPhone case that's themed after Star Trek. They've got red, yellow, blue, and it's got the Star Trek, the Federation insignia on it. The only thing that prevented me from immediately buying one for you was I wasn't sure how you would react to the fact that they are based on the J.J. Abrams movie insignia, which is slightly different.
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
I
check out
liked the movie.
thinkgeek.com.
I liked the movie, despite that many Trekkies and Trekkers did not. I thought it was great.
Excellent. Well, if that doesn't bother you, you might look at it. I think they're like $20, and they're pretty cool looking. And if anyone's going to be styling and profiling with Star Trek gear, it's my man, Jeremy Salick.
I'm checking it out.
Excellent.
They just announced who the no, they didn't just announce, but they mentioned who the bad guy is in Star Trek 2.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Well, now I got to know who it is. Sorry, Mashowski.
There's a hint. Khan!
It's the bad guy from Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
Seriously? Star Trek 2 is going to have the same villain as Star Trek 2.
Yep. There are rumors.
Cool and kind of makes me want to stab people.
It's kind of like if they came up with anyone else, it'd be like, well, this is Star Trek 2, but it's not as good as the original best Star Trek movie, Star Trek 2, because Khan's a better villain. So they're like, all right, we're going to take this head on. We're going to do Khan. That's pretty ambitious.
Is Khan going to be played by Ricardo Montalban?
Of course not.
Because it's not Khan. Khan is Ricardo Montalban. We have to end this podcast.
Mullet. End it. Go ahead.
I'm trying, but every
You're the
time
one
I
who's
say
been talking.
Someone.
Khan!
Did we drop into Arnold Schwarzenegger there?
Yeah,
I'm Khan.
Khan, now
Hey, I'm Khan, get me off this planet.
I
And
can't
help me
believe you
shoot
would
the
do
starship.
Sons of Skyrim.
Oh, this is the part in the movie where he yells my name because he's so mad at me, and then I go around the moon and I shoot him in the ass. I love that part.
This part. Alright, shut up. Oh my fucking shit. Alright, here we go. That's the end of the podcast. Please check out our website at www.gamerreaction.tv. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out our confusing new YouTube channel. Until next week, this is your old buddy Alex.
This is Diana.
And Jeremy reminding you that if you get contrasting, similar themed tattoos as your buddy, it doesn't mean you're gay. Promise.
See you next week.
Mad love. Mad love.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. And there you have it. What do we say?
Oh my god.